Slicing and indexing is one of the important concepts in a NumPy array. Let's look into it. So what slicing and indexing helps us to do is we will be able to create a subarray that we want from a large array using slicing and indexing. So first we have created an array of size 10, 10. So we have created a range from 0 to 99 and we have reshaped it to 10 cross 10. Okay. So we have 10 rows and 10 columns. So if you want to access a specific element by row or column, you can use the index. So over here, I'm accessing the fifth, column index 5 and row index 5. Okay. The first is a row and the second one is column. So we are accessing the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth row and fifth column. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope this is clear. So similarly, you can access any element that you want. So you can use two square brackets to represent the row and the column, or you can use a single square bracket and use comma to differentiate the row and the column. So you will be able to access any elements like this. So if you want to access more than one element, you want to access a range of elements, you can use this colon to specify the start and end range. So, but one thing that you have to remember is the end range is not included. So what this does is, it takes the array from the index 1, okay, column index 1, and includes 1 and 2. So we'll be having the second row and the, in the sense, first row and the second row, and the fourth column and the fifth column. So the output that we'll be getting is, we know we will be getting first row. Okay, so fourth column. So 14 and 15 and 24 and 25. This would be the output that we will be getting. So is it clear? So I'll just show you, I'll just try to break down this to you. So first what we are doing is, we are creating the first row and the second row alone. Okay. Then we are putting another condition to get the, so let's say this is what we have. Then what we are doing is, from this we are just selecting the fourth column and the fifth column. So this is the output that we are getting. Hope it's clear, but we'll look into more examples which will make you clear. Okay, we are trying to create an array of 3 dimension, each of length 2. Okay, so this is the array that is created. So what I can do is, I can access the elements in the way that I want. So autocomplete what does is, if I specify I want all the elements in the 0th index of the first axis alone, what it does is, it returns this value alone. So we need not fill the other dimension values. We can just put autocomplete over here. So the same output you can get it also by using so when you're using like this, it would return, okay, just a second, array 1. You can get the same output using this also. I'm just showing that this is also possible, and this would be the same output even if you're using all of these would result in the same output. So you can assign slicing. Oh, this one would be much interesting. So what we want is, we have a large array. What we're trying to do is, we are trying to assign values to them. Okay. Okay, we know the array starts from 0 to 1999. Okay. What I'm trying here is, I'm trying to assign the value 100 to all the elements in the second row and the third row. Okay. So what happens is, first all these elements would be changed to 100. Then what I'm doing is, after 8th column, I'm assigning all the column values to be 0, 8 and 9. Okay. So actually this place would be overwritten by 100, but it's again overwritten by zeros. I hope this is clear. So let's say we want to change the value of all the rows in the 7th column to 97. So you can just specify all the, if you want to do change it for all the rows, you need not pass anything over the row index. For the column, if you want to change it for 7th column alone, you can choose the 7th column and replace it by 97. So you can see the output over here. Okay, see, as you can see, 97 is replaced. So for the last thing, let me try to replace all the elements in the 6th row to just 6. Okay, I can just do it by, or the first 5 columns in the 6th row to be 6. Okay, first what I will do is, so I'm choosing it to be the 6th row. I want the first 5 columns to be changed. So the last one would not index, so I'd be using 6 over here. So all of this should be, let's say, 120, some random value. So what happens is 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 and 65 would be changed into 120. Just print it. As you can see 66 is not changed because as I said, the last end var range will not be included. Okay, I hope this is clear. So similarly, you can also use Boolean indexing. So what it does is, we are having a shape of 25 5 and reshaping it to 5 cross 5. So the first column, whichever value has true, those columns are alone, those rows are alone shown. Okay. So the first row, so I'll print you out the entire array so that you can compare it. So we'll be having actually 5 rows. Okay. Out of which we are just printing the rows which has a value true. So the row which starts with 10 and the row which starts with 25 would 20 is removed. Similarly, we can negate it also. So only those two rows would be showing up. So here what it does is, it only shows the value which are greater than it. So what I'm doing over here is, first I'm creating the same kind of array. So array 2, whichever is greater than, so this actually returns the Boolean value. Okay, I'll just so we say array 2, whichever is greater than 2, whichever are greater than 2, 3, 4 and 5, less than 2, sorry, then it's only 1, or greater than 4, which is 4 and 5. So 1, 4 and 5 are the values that are we are getting. Okay, sorry. So we are getting true, false, false and true. This is the value we are getting. So we are using this and getting the values for array 1. So we'll be getting the first row and the last row. I hope this is clear. We can also use fancy indexing. What it does is, if you want to select a group of values, a specific like third row, fourth index, third row, fourth column, fifth row, seventh column, something like that, what you can do is, you can specify the indexes over here. Similarly, you can specify the column indexes over here and we'll get the output of it. So you'll be getting 33, 21, 12 and 21. I hope this is clear. So next, let's get into something that's more interesting. So let's say you want to access a specific group of value. Okay, something like this: 24, 25, 26, 34, 35, 36, 44, 45, 46. So if you want to access some range of values like this, you can also do it. First, what we are doing is, we are selecting the columns, sorry, rows that we want. Okay. Then we are getting at as output. Over that we are doing another column operation and we are getting the output. So what it does is, okay, let's see the output. So it will choose the third row, first row and the second row. Okay. And sixth column, fourth column and eighth column. So this is the output that we get. So I'll try to create another one very similar to this. So let's say we want 54, 55, this part, 54, 55, 56, 64, 65, 66, 74, 75, 76. This is the value that we want. So I can get it by. So what I should do is, I should choose the columns that rows that I, rows that I need, which is 5, 6 and 7. Okay. Then I have to choose the, so this only this 3 rows. Then I want to choose the columns that I need. So I want all the rows in that particular selection. So I just using a semicolon alone. After that I'm choosing the column, which is I want 4, 5 and 6. So the output would be 54, 55, 56, 64, 65, 66, 74, 75, 76. I hope this is clear. Okay. Next one is dimension inference. So what you can do is, if you want to reshape something and you only know the value that you want for the one of the uh, axis, you can use -1 to auto complete it. So there are 16 elements totally. I want to reshape it and I want 4 rows. I don't care how many columns there is. So then I can use -1. So it reshapes accordingly. So similarly, let's say I have 4 rows, sorry, 16 elements and I have 4 rows and I want 2 columns. And for the last index, I don't care what values it is. So I can use -1. So what actually happens is, when you multiply these together, you get the total number of elements. Okay, this one thing. And you can also choose index by conditions. So what it does is, it returns all the elements which are greater than the condition. Okay, and you can also have multiple conditions as we saw before. And another thing is, you can when the condition passes, you can have a true condition, true return, and when the condition fails, you can have another return. So when the values are greater than 5, you can return a particular value of -1. When the value is less than 5, you can return another value. Okay. So this I guess this is sounds easy. And finally we have argvar. So whatever succeeds with arg returns the index. So what it does is, it returns all the index which is greater than 12. So in this, the indexes that are greater than 12 are uh, third row first index, third row second column, third row third column. So this would be the output. Okay. I hope indexing and slicing is clear to you. Run this notebook